What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, or if you're new, welcome to the Part-Timers Barbecue. I'm Max, the part-time pitmaster, and in today's episode, we're getting into a full spare rib. We're gonna trim this Texas style. We're even gonna season it Central Texas style as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so what we got here is a full rack of spare ribs. Usually you'll find, or what's popular is the St. Louis cut, which is basically squared off, but you lose a lot of good old meat up in the rib tips here that we're gonna save. So we consider this a Texas style trim. If you go down there, you're gonna find most spare ribs this way. So here, the membrane's already been taken off, but I am gonna get this little bit of a skirt. It's actually pretty good trimmed, I should say. So I'm gonna start, we're gonna take this off here. It's not even a big piece of skirt on there either. So not too much to do. We're just gonna work away at some of this large pockets of fat, and then we'll get into the actual trim. Basically, we're gonna take off this breastbone, cut from one of these small bones here, square it up, and there's not too much thin meat here, so we'll probably just clean up the edges. Now, if we were to do a St. Louis, we'd cut it right along there. Take that, not too bad. Take this glob of fat here. All right, so now, this right here is a bone. And if you look, you can kind of see a little joint in between. So you're gonna find that joint. And you're gonna go, just take it right off. Now this is a smaller rack of ribs. This bone here, I'm gonna take off, because it's just gonna burn away and fall apart. This is a smaller rack of spare ribs. Usually they can be a lot bigger. I don't need a huge one, so I have a small one. So right here, you're gonna see there's a little bone right there. With this meat here, probably just gonna dry out, cook slower than the rest of them. So we're gonna take that off. I'm gonna round the corners. Now all this meat here that I've taken off, you can save, smoke for little snacks. No harm in that at all. This dangly thing, that's no good. Up here, you don't want this. Now here, the membrane's already been taken off. The big myth about it is you want to take the membrane off. Well, if you're cooking hot, you really don't need to. It's not gonna make much of a difference, and you'll save a little bit of the fat inside there, which will help render and keep it moist. Me, normally, I would take it off anyway, because I usually cook slower, but I'm cooking on my pit barrel, so I'll be cooking higher. So all this fat here, we wanna take off. I'm gonna be careful though, we don't wanna make craters and divvy up the meat. We just wanna thin it down so you're not getting a mouthful. A lot of this will render out, so don't have to worry too much. Don't get too carried away, but at the same time, you want to enjoy every bite. Take that off there. So we're just gonna clean off the edges here. This is the last little thing. Those edges were a little frilly, and those will just burn off. So now we have ourselves a well-trimmed full rack of spare ribs. We're cut off the breastbone, we're rounded, we're squared up. What's next? Season it up. I got my usual mustard mixed with apple cider vinegar. We're gonna use that as the binder. Nice light coat of that on there. Okay, and now we have salt. So we're doing Central Texas style So we're gonna salt, pepper, and because I'm doing ribs, I have a little garlic powder mixed with the pepper. But we're just gonna salt separately. Pat that in. Then we're gonna hit it now with the pepper mixed with garlic powder. Just a nice even layer. Notice how I'm shaking up high so we get a good even layer of pepper on there. Pat it in. Now we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna repeat. These are nice and thick, and check out the marbling on here. This is one of the better racks of full spares I've actually got my hands on in terms of quality. So, mustard, kosher salt, sprinkle that on top. So the beauty about doing this separately is the salt can actually penetrate without the other spices blocking it in. So now pepper. And pat it in. And now it's ready for the pit. Before I forget, make sure to like and subscribe and smash that bell so you can stay up to date on all my videos. I'm going to be dropping them weekly. Let's go. Okay, so we got the Traeger fired up and we're rolling lumberjack hickory blends. Got the smoke tube on. We're going to throw this lovely Texas style rack right in the middle. We're running at 250 and it'll probably go up to 275 in a bit. So while we got the ribs on, let's make a quick mop sauce. This is simple, easy. We're gonna start with butter. You can use real butter. I like fake butter. We're gonna add some apple cider vinegar to this. Nice little splash of that. No exact measurements. Here we're gonna hit up some Worcestershire sauce. Give it that nice umami flavor. Here we got a little apple juice to thin it out. Now we're gonna hit it with my chicken and rib rub. It's gonna give it that salt and pepper and the chilies and whatnot. And let's mix it up and cook it down. We're about an hour and a half in, and let's take a look. We're gonna go hit them with a mop. Starting to get a good color on it from the smoke. So we're just gonna dab the mop on it. Then close it up and let it keep running. We'll check on the third hour now. We're gonna hit it with its second mop. The color is looking awesome. Nice mahogany. Fat's starting to render down. Getting squishy. Flip it over. Let's mop the other side. I'm gonna let it run like this. And then next time I see it, we're gonna sauce it up. We're looking really good. We're at the, I want to say, 3.5 hour mark now, closer to 4. The bark color on this is amazing. So this sauce I made up, it's just apple cider vinegar, ketchup, and brown sugar, and some spices. Just something watery, just to add another layer of flavor. We're gonna spread it with our glove. Look at this slow-mo action there. Awesome. Who says Traegers don't smoke? All right, so we're gonna let this run for another half hour, and then we're gonna wrap it up. These are sitting around in the 190s, so I'm gonna wrap them up in some butcher paper, and then we're gonna put them back on the grill, and then next time you see them, I'll be cutting into these. So let's get them wrapped up. Gonna wrap them. Here. Meat side down, nice and tight. Now the meat side up. Pull this extra in. Other meat side down. Now these are going back on the grill until they're done. Okay, y'all, let's unravel these. So I ended up letting this run 250 the whole time. It stayed wrapped for about an hour. Total cook time, I'd say about 5. And look at the color and bark on these spare ribs. If these don't say Texas, I don't know what does. No sauce, gonna flip them over and we're gonna get to cutting. My goodness, are these tender. Ooh. All right, nothing left to do but taste this. Nice smoke ring, great color, tender. Let's go, let's dig in. Oh, yes. This was awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you haven't already, you can check out my Instagram page for more content between the posts. I'll link that in the caption. Remember, keep that smoke alive and have yourself a wonderful day.